annotation. And in this toolbox today, we're going to add two types of annotation. So I'm passing around guided notes. And we're going to walk through them together. Make sure that you're filling in the blanks. And this is important because it's going to help you with your reading tonight. You want to make sure that you understand what kinds of annotations are we doing today so you can do them tonight for your own reading. So go ahead, write your name, write the date, very important things. And so traveling back, way back to last week, we did filter notes. We did it on articles, photo essays, other ideas. And so now we're going to use this. This is our very first annotating skill. So in our first blank, number 1 is answering filter notes. That's our first skill in annotating. And this time we're going to be doing it with the information from the book. So it's all coming from one page. So go ahead and fill that in. Give it a few more seconds. And when you're ready, because your thumb is to your heart and you're facing forward. Is it questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, if you're sick,
Oh, well, yeah. So we have number 1, our first annotating skill is going to be answering filter questions, which is this time it's not going to be on a biography or photos that we look at, but it's going to be coming straight from the book. Yeah? So go ahead and fill that out so we can go on. You have a question? Yes.
Are we gonna discuss what we found on the book?
Oh, definitely. We're going to be talking. I'm sorry? Oh yeah, we're gonna have some good group discussions. I'm gonna have some questions to have you guys think about it. Simon, I saw you had a question? No? Okay. Marian?
Oh, where do we write down?
Number 1 has 3 blanks right here. So our first annotating tool would be answering filter questions. Those are what our 3 blanks are for. So as you guys write that down, we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, this is kind of dark, but why don't you guys go ahead and open it to that very first, beginning of the first chapter. Yes, this is it, guys. Reading our first words. Remember, silent cheers, excitement, but make sure we don't distract anyone. So, I have my copy here. You guys have your copy. Make sure we're looking all at the same page. I would like it if when I start reading things out loud, you follow along with your finger so I can make sure that we're all on the same page. So we have this open. And now, so the way that this is going to work is I'm going to show you how we're going to use this first tool of annotating. I have my own filter question, and I have you guys answer one that's similar, but it's not the same one. So I can make sure that I don't take all of your answers. So, for me, well, for you guys actually, your filter question is, Ezra, can you read it out loud? Stop here.
How is the narrator different from the author?
How is the narrator different from the author? So, Mina, do you remember why we talked and learned so much about Sherman Alexie last week?
So, like, we could understand, like, why he wrote about this specific topic.
Yeah, and Astrophil, is it about some other person's life that he based it on, or was it something else? His own life. So we're going to see how it's a semi-autobiography, which means that not all the facts are 100% correct or true, but he made it into a novel to make it a bit more entertaining, I guess you can say. And so we're going to see your filter question is going to be, what are you finding about the narrator that we didn't find about Sherman Alexie in his biography? So we're going to take our first step in writing into our most treasured possession. And here at the top of your first chapter, you're going to write that filter question. How is the narrator different from the author? Make sure that we're all on the same page. I'm looking around. I see that most of us are on the same page. So right here, we're writing this filter question. How is the narrator different from the author? The pencils are down and the questions and checks and you guys are done. So, now that we all have our filter, you guys have your filter question there. I'm going to show you my filter question. Very similar to yours, but instead of thinking about how the author and the narrator have differences, I will think about what they have in common. So I'm going to use my knowledge on the biographies that we read in class and what I'm reading off the book. So this is what my passage would look like. So here is my filter question. I wrote it in. How is the narrator similar to the author? I have it right at the top of my first chapter so I can know. So, I was born, sorry everyone. The first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to read through it and I'm going to find some way to answer my filter question. So I'm waiting for everyone to be on the same page as I am with their finger on the words following along. We're almost there. I know it's exciting to see what else is happening in the book, but also we don't want to ruin it for ourselves. So we're all on the same page. So I'm going to read, and I'm going to see if I find something that's similar between Sherman Alexie and the narrator. Ezra. Okay, here we go. I was born with water on the brain. Right there, I'm like, wait, I remember that. We talked about that in class. Sherman Alexie was also born with water on the brain. So this is how I would go ahead and annotate my notes to answer my filter question. I would underline water on the brain because this is what they have in common. You guys right now should just be looking. Don't worry about underlining yet. I want to make sure that you understand my thought process so when you answer your question, you have the right tools. So pencil should be down, the finger should be on the following along. Alright, good. And so I'm going to underline that, and then I'm going to write hydrocephalus. I think that's how it's pronounced. Tough word, but this is my increase in vocabulary too. I read this book and I learned that word. But I'm going to write that down because it reminds me of what Sherman Alexie also had in his biography.